Hello everyone, JRod here. In this episode I will show you how I ordered the 2005 additional LEGO pieces I need to build my Modular Diagon Alley MOC design. I will explain the rules I followed and all my tips, so that you can also build your MOCs without breaking the bank. So first things first, here are my basic rules. 1. I only buy new parts. 2. The first place I go is LEGO itself, through the Pick-a-Brick service. And 3. Whatever I can't find in LEGO, I'll go buy in Bricklink. Here is my reasoning. I don't buy pieces in bulk, just the ones I need for my MOCs. Usually small batches, many times just 1 or 2 pieces for each part type. And I want my MOCs to look awesome. So used parts that can be discolored or scratched are just not an option for me. To buy new parts and in small batches, LEGO is the cheapest place. First, because they are producing them. So the rarity of the part type or the color is irrelevant. The price is always the same. And second, because with enough pieces or adding a small set, you'll get free shipping, some VIP points, and can even receive a gift with purchase. I'm not saying that LEGO is always the cheapest option. Occasionally you may find parts being sold cheaper in some Bricklink stores, especially if you are buying a large number of pieces of the same part type and the seller has a lot of it. A final reason for me to prefer buying from LEGO. If I buy from Bricklink, I am buying pieces that were already produced and sold in sets. They are already in the market. If I'm buying from LEGO, I'm causing the production of new pieces. And increasing the total number of LEGO pieces that exist in the world is always a good thing. But of course, you will find that LEGO is not always producing all types of pieces, not by far. So it's very likely that you'll find that you need some part that LEGO is not producing. So that's when Bricklink is your lifesaver. I'm ordering more than 2,000 pieces, split by 310 different part types / colors. So I need a plan to ensure that I order exactly what I need and for a good price. So I'm picking up where we ended in the last video, a spreadsheet with a list of optimized parts that I need to buy. Since we will now buy just the pieces we need, let me hide everything we don't need and filter the lines of the parts we need to order. Based on my basic rules, I want to buy the most parts possible from LEGO, so I want to know which part types are available in the LEGO Pick-a-Brick service. On the LEGO Shop website, select Shop, Pick and Build, Pick-a-Brick. The parts are split between bestseller and standard. This is important not only because of the difference in the expedition times, much longer for the standard ones, but especially because there is a separate service fee for each type in orders below a certain value, 12 euros here in Europe. Here you can filter by several fields. We will only be using the search by item number. But before, we need to make sure the Show Bestsellers Only option needs to be off, as we want to find all the parts that are available in the LEGO Pick-a-Brick. And the Show Out of Stock option needs to be on, so we can distinguish between parts out of stock and parts that are not sold by LEGO. Now we search for each element ID we want to buy and fill in these 3 columns. Is sold at LEGO that I will fill with yes if it's sold and it's currently available, with out if it's sold but is currently out of stock, and no if it's not sold in the LEGO Pick-a-Brick service. Bestseller, where I put a B if it's a bestseller and leave empty if not. I'm not using yes, no, just to avoid having consecutive columns with the same values. That can cause mistakes. Unit price, that I fill with the price of one piece of that parts type. This is not essential, but I like to have an idea of how much I will spend in total. So I fill the unit price for each part, add another column with the total price per part by adding a simple formula that multiplies the number of parts by the unit price, and then sum it all in the end of the sheet. This is the worst part of the process, as I didn't find a way to do it in bulk. You really have to do it one by one. In the end, you should have something like this. Now, let's filter the parts by the ones that are not sold at LEGO. We need to check their prices in Bricklink. Here, the price of parts varies with the scarcity of each part, and also from store to store. That's why this step is important, to see if the few parts you need won't cost you a kidney. Let's pick an example. I need 23 dark green 1x2 tiles. 1x2 tiles are very common, but LEGO doesn't sell them in dark green. I search by the element ID to find it, and then need to search the column most to the left, with the lots for sale, and click on the dark green color. It shows the list of lots available for sale. Bricklink already pre-fills the filter to only show you the stores that ship to your country. But depending on where you live, you probably want to add more filters. I always change the condition to new, and in the more options, since I'm in Portugal and the packages from outside the European community tend to be blocked in customs and people have to pay a lot to unblock them, I choose the European Union in the seller location filter. The default order is the lowest price, so I search and look at the top stores. I can see that for this part, the first store has it for 80 something cents. And after that, the price starts at €1. I need 23 of these parts that I'm using in the Ollivander's floor. It would cost me at least €19 just for this part alone. Do I really need these parts? Ollivander's floor is not a tiled floor where keeping a pattern in the parts used makes a difference. This is carpet, so I can simply replace them by 1x4 and 1x1 tiles that I can buy from LEGO. So I did that change and many others as I repeated this process for the other parts, and ended up reducing the list to 6 part types with 13 pieces in total. I then created a wanted list in Bricklink with this list. For the sake of time, I'm not going into the details of Bricklink. If you have questions about it, just drop a comment below. I'll try to answer, and if needed, we'll do a full video just about Bricklink. With this list, it's time to order the parts. Now we can see a list of stores that have available some or all of the parts in the list. I'm using the same filter to only have stores from the European Union and the ones that ship to my country, but also 2 additional filters. I'm excluding the stores I have marked as least favorite, and I'm excluding the lots below the wanted quantity. If you are looking for a large amount of the same part, you might need to remove this filter to increase your options and buy from more than one store. In the list, you can see the number of lots from your list the store has available, and also if the store has a minimum value you need to buy from them. None of the stores has the 6 lots I have in my list, but a few of them have 4. The first store has a minimum amount of pieces to buy in some of the items. Not a big problem except in the black double slope, from which I need 1 piece and the minimum amount is 100. So I remove that part and confirm the selection. Then check the list again and choose one of the stores that has available the 3 remaining lots. Of course, I'm simplifying the process a bit. I would compare prices, check the store's terms of use to check for additional fees, and see the country they are in because of the shipping costs. But let me create the cards because what I really want to highlight is what I do next. As you can see, I have in the first store a minimum buy of €25, but my order is 20. And the other store, although there is no minimum buy, has a packaging fee for orders below €10. So instead of checking out the orders, I'm going to create another wanted list, this time with the items that are out of stock in the LEGO shop. With this new wanted list with 25 lots, I click Buy All again. As these parts are sold by LEGO, they are just out of stock now, you can see the parts are much more common. You have a lot of stores with almost all the lots. But what we will do now is not choose the store where to buy. We will search for the stores we have chosen previously and see which of these items they have for a good price. Unfortunately, in the filter that's not something easy to do. You can only order by store name and go through the pages and pages of stores looking for the ones we want. Alternatively, you can add the stores to your most favorite list and click on the checkbox to show first your favorite stores. The idea here is not to buy all the parts that are out of stock in the LEGO store, although you can, is to use these parts to complete the carts that were already selected, in order to ensure we have the minimum buy values and are avoiding all the fees that are just wasted money. And if it reduces the amount of orders you have to do and avoid some shipping fees, even better. Picking up one of the stores, I can remove items and leave only the ones that I feel are the best. In this case, enough so that it goes above the minimum 25 euros amount. But the best solution will depend entirely on your use case and situation. In my case, I ordered all of the out-of-stock parts from Bricklink, because I noticed LEGO parts that are out of stock change frequently. Some get back in stock, but in the meanwhile others go out of stock. Depending on the amount of different types of parts you are buying, it might be really hard to find them all available at the same time to make an order. And since LEGO has the service fee for orders below 12 euros, especially the 6 euros fee for the standard parts, which are the ones usually out of stock, it can become very expensive to buy just those parts when they become available. So, after you create the orders, one thing that I do is to update the spreadsheet with the Bricklink order ID, so that I know what was already ordered and what was not. At this stage, all the parts that were not ordered will be ordered from LEGO Pick-a-Brick. For those orders, I take the following into account. All the orders need to be 55 euros at least to have free shipping, and they can't include less than 12 euros of either bestseller or standard pieces. When I'm ordering a lot of parts, I split bestsellers in one order and standard in another. But I'm also mindful of not ordering more than 1000 pieces in the same order, as LEGO sends them all in just one bag and it's a pain to part them out. In this case, I made 3 orders. One only of bestsellers of around 1000 parts, then another with the remaining of the bestsellers, but since it didn't reach the free shipping value, I added some standard pieces so that I had free shipping, but also enough standard pieces to avoid the service fee. And a third one with the remainder of the standard pieces. In total, I made 6 orders, coming from 5 different countries, to buy the 2005 pieces that I need to build my Modular Diagon Alley MOC. Most of them have already arrived, except the 2 that come with standard pieces from LEGO Pick-a-Brick. Those can take up to 1 month to leave the LEGO warehouse and be expedited. In the meanwhile, I've been designing the instructions for the MOC. I already completed the second building. I can't wait to have all the pieces here and start building. If you found the video useful, consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I hope to see you all very soon.